When you work somewhere long enough, you might think you know the loopholes. These folks found out the hard way that they didn't. Here are 5 cases when dumb employees think they can steal without getting caught. Number 5. Woman steals coworker's money, doesn't know CCTV is watching her. In our first case, St. Charles officers respond to a Wahlburgers restaurant after allegations surfaced that an employee has stolen from a fellow staff member. Watch how the confrontation unfolds.
Okay. Do you know why I'm here?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you hear?
Because lost some money or misplaced it or somebody stole something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So how it happened, I was there when it happened. So how it happened is that because you're not gonna say that to the manager, right? And then she out of nowhere, she started screaming. She's like, "No, my money! Where's my money? Where's my money?" I'm like, "What do I do?" She's screaming for her money, you know? And then she's like, she went to go talk to Sue, and then that's what happened. That's what I heard that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, she was going to, but then she started screaming, so then she just put him back in her purse, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, she was going to.
Okay.
You can ask her that. She started looking through her purse and saying that, "Oh, my money, where's my money?" And that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I watched a bunch of video.
Yeah.
You took the money from the locker?
No.
Okay. You didn't take any money?
I didn't take any money.
In the locker?
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
Do you have any money on your person right now?
On my person? No.
Yeah.
On my bag, yeah.
Nothing in your...
Yeah, right here, just on my crotch.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Is there anything else?
No. You can pat me down if you want.
Okay. No, I'm good. Can you just is there anything in your shirt?
There's nothing in my shirt.
Anything like that? Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing.
If a female officer came here to
she can
search
you,
you're okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. And how about your so here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Okay. I watched the video. Okay. It looks like you're the only one who it could have been.
Before speaking with the suspect, later identified as Dulce Flores, officers had already reviewed surveillance footage showing her alone in the locker room, handling the brown purse in question. However, despite the evidence, she denies any wrongdoing. With that, the officer reminds her she's the main suspect, and cooperating now could work in her favor.
At all the video I watched, and I kind of saw some other stuff that, I think you have the money. This is what I'm going to tell you right now, just to make everything easier. We don't have to wait around for a female officer, nothing like that. If we can get the money back to her, we can make this. I'm just telling you right now before we go, any further. Is if something happened between you two, maybe you took some money from her purse or wallet or whatever, this can go away. Okay, she's already stated, you're 19. Are you 19?
Yeah.
Okay, you're 19. You're young. She doesn't believe. I asked her because obviously she doesn't know who it is. I'm like, if I could, determine who took the money, do you want them arrested? And I have a pretty good idea of who I think took the money. Okay, you're 19. If you have the money, I'm telling you right now, we can get the money, we can place it back in her locker, and we can make this go away, okay? And if you don't want to do that, then I have to continue with my legal process, okay? Continue, and it's going to end up in handcuffs and the police department and the court system.
I know. Yeah.
So can we get the money back?
Yeah.
We can? Where is it?
In my purse.
In your purse?
Yeah.
Okay,
but she's not gonna know who it is.
Let's go to the purse.
Okay. It's in my locker.
Can I just ask you, why you took it?
Because it's not that I have a problem with her or anything. I'm being honest right now. I don't have any money, anything. My brother works too, and we're struggling right now with money, and I just
Okay, where do you live?
I live in
Okay. I want you to understand that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That is some dirty stuff.
She's young and this kind of mistake could easily spiral into something more serious. But now, with the pressure setting in, she seems more willing to do the right thing.
I don't want to do that, okay? You're better than that. Oh, you're 19?
Yeah,
Are you
I've
from
never
St.
done
Charles?
that. Yeah.
You can grind and you can make some money. I get it. I understand.
It's just my
the struggle,
first time doing
you
it.
know,
Like,
pick up overtime, this and that. Do you know how much money it was total?
like I didn't count it. I just took it, so I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you see? You take it out of the pink wallet and the inside of the purse? Okay. There was just a bundle. Took out like $100 bill off the top.
Yeah.
Maybe some 20s. All right, let's go to it. I'll grab your ID and stuff too. Can you guys give me a few?
Oh, yeah,
No.
sure.
No. Oh. This is everything?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Give your ID.
Oh yeah.
While the officer assured her that cooperation could lead to lighter consequences, the final decision rests with the victim and store management. For now, all she can do is wait.
Yeah, she said she always gonna get fired.
You said what?
I was gonna get fired. She said I was gonna get fired.
Who? She said you're gonna get fired? When?
She said that if she finds whoever it is, that she was gonna get fired.
Do you have a driver's license or just ID?
Just like
Just ID. Okay. Just need it for the report. What's your address? And then phone number for you?
yeah.
All right. Yes, you're good to go back to work for now. I'm gonna go give her money back, speak with them, and make sure everything's good, and then probably get out of here.
After recovering the money, the officer spoke with the manager, who had initially said she wouldn't press charges if the full amount were returned. But after thinking it over, she changed her mind. Unfortunately for Dulce, her decision to steal $280 now means a trip to the station.
Do you have to give them back anything?
No.
No.
Well,
Well,
over here.
take your purse. You don't have anything illegal in your purse, right?
No.
No.
Anything your waist bag, come out.
That's it.
All right. Just place your hands right behind you. Thank you.
Try come 13.
Should be maybe an hour or so. Wrist okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure they don't lock up anymore. Good here. Oh. There you go.
Dulce was ultimately charged with retail theft of $500 or under. She was released with a pending court date. Number 4. Woman thinks her excuse will justify stealing $8,000 from her job. In our next case, officers respond to a speedway in Florida after management reported a suspected internal theft. The manager had been documenting everything before bringing in law enforcement. Now watch as the authorities begin their investigation.
We'll go back here to the office.
Oh, you need in there? Yeah. Okay.
So, obviously, you know why we're here. I'm just going to read you this, alright? Just so we could have this. Require the warning before you make any statement. You have the following constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent, not answer any questions. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement and during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you're entitled to the presence and representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement and during any questioning. If at any time during the interview you do not wish to answer any questions, you're privileged to remain silent. You can make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement, and this must be of your own free will. Any statement can be and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
All right, and what's your name?
Tracy.
All right. Were you ever booked under a different name? So there's a couple different last names or something.
My married names.
All right, just checking.
Yeah.
All right, so obviously you know what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the little videos up on there now? Can you pull those up?
The manager began noticing significant shortages, thousands missing from the register. With every move caught on HD surveillance, it didn't take long to track where the money was going. Unfortunately for the suspect, she's still unaware she's been caught on camera.
All right, so while he's doing that, we were called here about like fraudulent activity and like false purchases going through the POS system. Like cash purchases, no cash showing up in the drawer, the money going to a cash app or a like a phone app system. I reviewed the videos yesterday. And I reviewed the videos yesterday and saw it appeared you were doing a transaction through the register there for cash to be loaded onto like Cash App or whatever one of those apps are. And scanning it and then clearing it out. Do you have anything to add in with that, or
No.
any reason why you'd be doing that?
Bills. My husband's not working. My son's hours got cut. I got a 15-year-old, and my ex-husband just went back on the road as a truck driver. So I'm the main person paying the bills, and our lights were about to be shut off that day. So I know that's no excuse.
Who lives there with you now?
My husband, my ex-husband technically lives there, and my two kids. My 20-year-old and my 15-year-old.
Now confronted with video evidence, the suspect has no choice but to come clean and finally reveal the truth.
Alright, so what are you typing in there?
The amount, load, go on the other side, confirm, come back on this side, scan,
And this is into Cash App, or what app is
yes.
It's a chime
Chime.
account.
that? Chime?
Yeah, same, pretty much the same thing as cash.
And that's onto your phone?
Yes.
Have you ever done this before, or like
No.
anywhere else?
No.
What made you, like, what what brought this up to start trying to do this? Like,
Just trying to get my bills paid.
did you?
Because like I said, I have a 15-year-old now.
Did you realize that this would probably be videoed and
No.
it's all electronic and everything's monitored? All right.
Yeah, because I have nobody at home to take care of my daughter. Because her and her stepdad, oh my God, it's like two alphas in the same house together. He yells at her, she yells at him. Their dad is on the road as a truck driver for Crete.
All right. How'd you get here today?
Drove.
You drove? Your car's out there?
Yes.
All right. Do you have anything else to add in? Anything else you want us to know about this stuff? Do you have anything? You don't have pockets or anything,
No,
right?
I don't have phone.
All right, here. You can walk out with us then.
Pulling my pants up.
Yeah, if you grab your stuff.
You're number 3? I'm gonna take you over here. You coloring again?
The suspect appears more than willing to cooperate, but after stealing nearly $8,000, she's facing serious consequences. Despite everything, her honesty gives officers a reason to show some leniency.
Which car's yours? The parked over here? So here's what we're gonna do, all right? So unfortunately, you know what's going on here with the videos and all that stuff and everything we just kind of talked about. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a little extra thing here. All right, you're gonna be going with us today.
Okay.
All right, I'm just putting it out there, plain and simple. Okay. Since you have your car here, you have your things to make things easier, more streamlined. What I'm gonna have you do is let's leave your things in your car. We'll lock your car so we can just take your key.
Okay, there's no way y'all could follow me to the house so I could drop the car off at the house?
No.
To my husband?
No, I can't
That
do
way
that.
he could take my daughter where she needs to go?
I can't do that. If we could, the faster we could go in and get out, the faster you could get to wherever you need to go. It's early in the day. You're gonna have a bond. It's likely just gonna be a couple $100, just because they're 1/10 of whatever the actual bond is. So if we could go in there, you could be out by lunchtime, honestly. So let's just put your stuff in the car here. Preferably, like, put it in the back.
Yeah.
Cause I see you got like jewelry on and stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I can take my phone and my keys, right?
If you want to take your phone, that's fine. I'm just trying, the less things that go in, the better. Like, so like rings and all that stuff, unless you can't take them off.
Yeah.
Or they're like some, you know, super sediment, super valuable
This one
sort of
is
thing.
like diabetic.
Just so the nurses.
Yeah, you can let them know. Just let them know you're diabetic, but you know, you don't need assistance unless you do. You know.
Officers now prepare to escort her to the station, ensuring everything is in order before taking her in.
I'll take your keys and your phone.
Want me to turn the phone off?
I'll turn
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, stupid phone.
the phone with the cracked screen.
We have to document it like that. It
Yeah.
seems odd.
Debit card.
Here, and your car is locked.
Yeah, when the mirrors go in, it's locked.
All right. So put your hands like you're praying.
Can we put them in the back? I have a really bad back.
I could put them in the front if you got a bad back.
Yeah.
Let me get your name tag and the pin off, because those are things that they'll try to say like somehow that's like a weapon or something crazy.
Well, there is a needle on
Well,
this.
you know that. They'll freak out over that stuff. You want me to put these in your car?
Yes.
All right. So here, I'll put them in the front since you're saying you have a bad
Yeah.
shoulder, bad back.
I have arthritis, DDD, folding disc, all of my lower back.
That's fine. You're not giving me any issues, so I'll help you out. You're helping me out. This isn't this is just like a money crime, so it's not like you're out doing craziness. All right. So I'm gonna set you in here.
Okay.
There you go. Unlock it.
The suspect was ultimately charged with felony grand theft. She was then sentenced to 3 years of probation and ordered to pay $8,000 in restitution. Number 3. Cashier thinks playing dumb will get her out of trouble. On April 23, 2023, officers were dispatched to a 7-Eleven following reports of an employee stealing thousands of dollars while on the clock. Listen as the manager explains how the theft was uncovered.
All right, beautiful. So what's going on?
Show you the okay. So I have 19 locations. So
Okay.
this is the location that I'm having some issue. I just took over that
Right.
2 months back, right?
Okay.
So every time they have audit inventory, 7-Eleven, they do their stuff. I'm
Yeah.
short. I was
Yeah.
trying to find what is going on.
Okay.
It has to be, according to our business, most of the time is employees steal it.
Right.
Not the customer
Right.
steal, but not.
Right.
They
Yeah.
steal candy. How much? $1,
Right.
$2, $3, right?
Yeah.
But I have a $15,000 shortage, almost.
All right.
On
How much?
$15,000.
15 grand? Yeah, that's
Well, 14,900 something,
Yeah.
right? I don't have the report yet. It's just estimated.
Okay.
Then I was trying to dig out. Oh, what is happening? Why is that? From the cash on 19th, I think Friday, I had $816 short from the register.
Right.
Then I go like, you know what? I'm busy guy, right, in the
Yeah.
north.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to spend some time and find out.
Okay.
Then one of the employees see that she took $405 something. This is on the video. I have that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share with you guys anyway.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? Forget the 15. This is what I have right now.
Right.
I want to move forward with that
Okay.
thing. So I want the.
All right. So right now we have today what we're dealing with is we're dealing with 400 and something dollars.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that's
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
All right. So today we're dealing with $400.
Yeah.
With that being said, this employee,
Yeah.
are you looking to fire them and issue them a trespass warning, or are you looking to press charges on them as well? All right. So you're looking to press charges. Okay. So okay.
No mercy.
Okay. No problem.
I
That's
work
no
hard-working
problem.
money, man.
Okay. What is the employee's name that you?
Her first name is Tamara, Tamara.
Tamara.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't know the last name,
Okay. You don't know the last name. Okay.
but I have all of those information. once
Right.
I
We'll
log
get that
into
once we
it.
go inside.
Yeah.
And is she on duty right now?
She's on.
After hearing the initial details from the manager, the officer moves in to confront the suspect, who's still unaware that police have been called.
Are you inside?
Watch that back door.
Hello. Hello. How you doing? My name is Officer Damian Ferriolo. I'm with the Delray Beach Police Department. This is Officer Swanson. He's my buddy. The reason we're here today is because this is Russell. Do you know who Russell is?
It's my boss.
He's your boss. Okay. So Russell has concerns that you have stolen from the store.
What?
Okay. So before we talk about it all, I'm just going to read you something. Okay. This is real fast. I'm sure you've seen this like in the movies and stuff like that. All right. So I am required to warn you before you make any statement that you have the following constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent and not answer any of my questions. Do you understand that?
I what?
You have the right to remain silent and not answer any of my questions. Do you understand that?
Your question?
Yeah, like in other words, if I ask you questions, you don't have to answer them.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one of your rights. That's your first right. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Do you understand that?
Statement?
Yeah, in other words, like, I can't have this gentleman shake the truth out of you.
You speak English, okay? Or do you need somebody in a different language to help us out?
I'm not speaking it very well, but I'm not speaking it very well.
Okay. What language would you prefer?
Creole.
Okay. You try to get Creole to do this?
Do we have one?
Let's check the private.
Tamara, do you have your ID on you by any chance?
No.
Could I see your ID, please?
Now's a hurdle since the suspect claims that she doesn't understand English perfectly. But it seems that her boss is aware that she's not being entirely truthful.
Thank you. Okay, so Here, let's go over here in this area. This way we're, okay. So any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Do you understand what that means?
I told me in statement.
Yeah. So in other words, if I'm asking you questions, any statement that you tell me, you have to give it of your own free will. In other words, he can't shake it out of you. You have to tell us because you want to tell us. Okay? You understand that?
I need to try.
Okay. You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement and during any questioning. Do you understand what that means? No? Okay, so what that means is, in other words, right now I just want to have a conversation with you. If you don't want to have a conversation with me unless you have a lawyer around, you have that right. Okay? All right, but I'm not going to ask you anything that you don't want to answer unless you're willing to answer it, okay? If you cannot afford a lawyer, you are entitled to the presence and representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement and during any questioning. So, Tamara, what that means is, in other words, if you can't afford a lawyer, then what will happen is they will provide one for you. Okay? Do you understand that?
Can call someone to translate for me?
Well, I don't have someone on duty right now, but I mean, you seem like you understood me very perfectly clear when I was asking for the ID and everything. I believe if you work in the store, you deal with people that are speaking English all day long. I believe that you understand these things that I'm telling you. If you need clarification on what I'm trying to say, I'll clarify it for you. I don't mind taking, I don't care if we spend the next half hour just talking about these things. I just want to make sure you understand your rights, okay? Because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable.
With steady patience, the officer carefully walks the suspect through her rights, making sure nothing is misunderstood.
Okay? Cannot afford a lawyer, you are entitled to the presence and representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statements and during any questioning. So what that means is if you can't afford to hire your own attorney, then they will provide one for you. Do you understand that? Yes, you do? I just need a verbal yes or no. But I just need a verbal yes or no. Like, in other words, I need you to say yes or no. Like, do you understand that if you can't afford an attorney, they will provide one for you?
Yeah.
Okay. If at any time during the interview you do not wish to answer any of my questions, you are privileged to remain silent. Do you know what that means? Alright, so that means if I ask you a question and you don't want to answer, you have the ability to remain silent. You can tell me, Officer Fariolo, I don't want to answer that. Or you could just call me Damien. You don't even have to call me Officer Fariolo, okay? Alright. I can make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement. This must be of your own free will. You know what stealing is, right?
Stealing?
Yeah, what is stealing? Do you know what stealing is?
Stealing.
Yeah, stealing. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, when you make any statements about it, that can be used in court. Do you understand that? Okay, you do. Okay, so you understand your rights as I've read them to you. Okay, yes you do?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, you understand. Okay. So with that being said, okay, basically, Russell, as we determined, Russell is your manager, right? Or your boss?
My boss.
Okay, he's the big boss, right? I think he owns a bunch of these places. Okay, Russell has noticed that some money has been going missing from here. Money.
Okay.
She's starting to show signs of nervousness, but as expected, she sticks to playing innocent.
So, with that being said, Russell was very concerned. So then he noticed one day that $800 and something was missing.
800?
But so what Russell did, hello?
My brother-in-law, he's
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, all right, thank you. So what Russell did the day that he realized that there was $800 missing is he went and reviewed the video. You know that there's surveillance video. You know there's cameras in the sky everywhere. Look, right there, there's one.
Yeah.
So you know there's cameras watching you when you work. You know it's there for your protection too, because it's there in case you get robbed or something like that. But it's also for his protection to make sure his employees aren't stealing from him. When he went and watched the video, and he showed me the video, do you know what we saw in the video? From Friday, this past Friday, last Friday. Do you know what we saw?
Friday?
4 days ago.
Yeah.
4 days?
Sunday, Saturday, Friday. Monday,
No, wait,
Friday, Sunday.
Today's Tuesday.
So today's Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. So, okay. But you
5 days ago.
5 days ago, Friday.
So 5 days ago, on Friday, the day before the weekend, he watched the video, and do you know what we saw in the video? Do you know what we saw? Okay, I'm going to tell you what I saw, okay? And then maybe you could tell me why, okay? I saw you put $400 on a gift card that you then put into your purse. Friday. It's on video. You put $400 on a gift card, and then you put the gift card in your purse, but you never put $400 in the drawer. So when you put the $400 on the gift card, that's like stealing $400 from the cash register because you put it on the gift card. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The suspect's scheme was simple. She loaded gift cards to her own account, hoping to trick the system into registering them as legitimate transactions. Unfortunately for her, the cameras caught everything.
There was no customers in the store. This happened around 11:30 a.m. So close to this time, this happened. Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. $400. You don't remember taking $400 on a gift card?
I looked.
Huh?
I looked Friday.
Oh yeah. So how come? Why did you take the $400 and put it on the gift card? Do you want to see the video of it?
No. I saw that.
You saw the video?
Like the video.
No, I'm saying I can show you the video of you doing it. Do you want to see the video?
Which video?
Of you putting the $400 on the gift card. I'm asking you why you did that. Is there a reason that you did that? Like, why would you need to take $400?
We know that you did it. We want to know why. We, him and me is we, and Russ too. He seems like a nice enough guy. Why did you steal that money? Not did you, why did you? We know you did. We want to know why you did.
Why I did?
Why did you steal the money?
Why I did?
Why did you put the $400 on the gift card and put it in your purse?
Maybe the gift card.
Maybe the what?
The gift card?
The gift card. Can I load? But I saw that
She's clearly scrambling to explain her way out, but her lies aren't convincing, and the officers have already seen through them.
I load on.
She just can't process it fast enough.
No, she's processing
the story.
But
Figure out the story.
she's trying to figure out what we want to hear. I don't want you to tell me what you think we want to hear. You're a smart girl. I can tell you're smart, and I can tell you understand me. Okay? So, you don't have to think about a story. You don't have to try to convince me that you can't understand me. All we're trying to ask is, listen, we're trying to figure out why you put $400 on a gift card. Because if he goes back, see, right now is a good time for you being honest. Because if he goes back and finds more stuff on you, then I'm going to have to put a lot of charges on you. Right now we're giving you an opportunity to be honest with us and tell you why you did that, and if there's any other times that you have taken money. Because right now he knows that over the past, how long? Well, over the past month?
Yeah.
Over the past month, he's out around $14,000. Now, I'm only telling you 400 of it that I know is you right now. But if you make me do a lot of extra work and make him do a lot of extra work and everything for us to figure out who took the rest of the $14,000, then that's going to become a big felony case, and you'll probably go to jail for a long time.
You understand so far? Because here's my next question. If you're not going to tell me why you took it, my next question is, who taught you to do that? Who taught you to go in the register and put $400 on a card and then take it? Another employee here told you to do that? Or did you figure it out on your own?
another employee.
The officers have tried to give the suspect the benefit of the doubt, but a refusal to be honest is starting to test their limits.
Tamara.
Who?
Okay. You're just asking us the same things that we're saying over and over. He's saying, in other words, did you figure that out? Or did someone teach you that you could scam the system by putting $400 on a gift card? Because I saw you had it written down on a little piece of paper. You didn't even have the gift card out because you were trying to be less suspicious. Do you know what suspicious is? You're trying to be less obvious. All right?
Sneaky.
Yes, very sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky.
Camera, I have everything in the phone. I have it.
We want to know.
They want to
We want to
why
know who
did
told
that.
you to do it. Who taught you?
to do that? Did somebody ask
Oh, who told me?
Yeah? Did anybody tell you to do this? And be honest with me, be honest with them.
No.
Nobody told you to do that, right? You did on your own. Whatever you did, nobody told you.
Whenever I did,
Yeah.
nobody.
Like no other employee tell you, hey, do this. So I can find out maybe somebody's behind also and making you do this. So you did on your own. Nobody helped you. Nobody give you the idea. You only
Yes,
talk.
I know.
Yeah. So
Nobody.
why are you stopping when we talk?
Because you're trying to think of a lie.
I
He's
know.
very busy right now processing a lie. All you got to do is tell us the truth,
Just tell them
and we
the
can
truth.
figure it out.
Yeah.
That'll help us figure it out. If there's somebody else we're looking for, or if we're only looking for you. Who showed you to put the money on the card like that, and then put the card in your pocketbook? Another employee here must have showed you. I don't think you're smart enough to come up with that idea yourself.
The officers try one last time to get her to tell the truth, but with the surveillance footage in hand, they don't need a confession to move forward.
I don't know. I think she's pretty smart. I think she's playing us right now. Or she thinks she's playing us.
So I have another question. Did you do that today since morning? Because I don't know what happened today.
Today?
Did you do anything like that?
So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to be placing you under arrest. Okay? You're going to jail because of the crime. You're not really talking to us, so if I can't really talk to you, I don't want to waste your time, I don't want to waste his time, I don't want to waste our time. So I'm going to just put you under arrest because you're not talking to us. So I'm going to have you put your hands behind your back. Alright?
But I don't know.
But we do know. You know, I know,
But
he knows.
So I tell you, nobody asked me.
You're not telling me anything. That's the thing. You're wasting my time. And if you waste my time, listen, I'm gonna be cool with you, but if you're wasting my time, I don't like when people waste my time.
Okay, but I know I make my mistake.
Okay?
But I can't I can do the check.
Well, the check, he's probably going to withhold your check anyways. He's definitely not going to be paying you your check.
You know what? Let me just grab it.
Alright, he's probably not going to be paying you your check. I mean, the thing is, you stole at least $400 from him. I don't know how much you make on your checks. But the thing is, you're going to go to jail right now because you're not cooperating. You're not helping us out.
She's now demanding her final paycheck. But with thousands missing and no willingness to cooperate, her priorities seem misplaced.
So I just got a property. In this lean view with it open like this, you can see several gift cards.
Are you in front of public or just passing it?
You understand the gift cards?
It's this one.
Huh? This one?
That's how it's for me. It's
Oh,
my
that
bank.
one's yours.
Place 3536 copy.
It's my bank.
Okay.
The complainant victim is 97 in the area, and he did confirm that's the correct subject.
Now, which of these gift cards can you identify as ones that you sell here?
I sell the eBay, I sell the vanilla.
No, it's only one.
See, right now you're communicating real well.
No, I try to understand. That's why I try to figure.
No. You're playing.
Okay.
But this one.
It's this bank.
Please, we're gonna pull those all out real fast, and we'll help you identify any of them that are yours. All right, let me have you put your hands behind your back. All right, Tamara, you gotta put your hands behind your back.
Turn around.
You gotta turn around. Put your palms together like you're praying. All right. You want to put your palms together like you're praying. All right. Let me see the other hand. No, you gotta put your other hand. Come on.
In the end, the 22-year-old suspect was charged with grand theft. Number 2. Target employee caught red-handed stealing thousands of dollars. This next case takes us to a Target store where management discovered an employee had been stealing thousands during his shift. Watch as officers uncover how the scheme worked.
So what do you need from me?
Do you want to go stand with him?
Basically, just tell us what happened. Okay, so I received a tip from the Target headquarters investigation that there's been cash stuff here at the store about 30 days ago. So starting June 20th, the team member took money out of the drawer. This is him here. I can actually, since I already have it up, I can just show you the video.
Took it out of the register?
Yeah, he removed it from the register and put it in his pocket. Okay. He already admitted to all the theft. We have him for about $800, but he admitted to close to $5,500. Said he's been doing it since he started working here a year ago.
He admitted to $5,500?
Yeah.
How many different occurrences are there since June?
I actually have it all for you.
Oh, okay.
I left my copy in there, and I don't want to keep going in and coming.
Yeah. Well, we have another officer with him now, so you know.
Next time I'll have all this stuff printed for you. I just didn't know what exactly you guys needed. You said you need like a sworn statement from me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you this. I don't know why I printed it out like that. But it has his date of hire, estimated loss is $824. That's the proven amount. So on the 20th, the 22nd, the 24th. So on the 20th, he took $139 out at 3:35. On the then at 12:47, he took out $160. At 1:55, he took out $125. On 23rd at 10:23, he took out $160. On 24th at 11:51, he took out $240. So there was 5 incidents that we can account for within the last 30 days, which equals $824.
The suspect had been stealing money across multiple shifts, but the pattern didn't go unnoticed. Loss prevention quickly connected each item back to him.
For the 20th, since there's 3 different occurrences, what did he take it out of the same register all 3 times?
No, so the POS is like a register number. So at this time he took out a register 124, this time he took out a register 125, and at this time he took out a register 123.
Okay. And how often do you guys count the money in the drawers?
There's somebody that counts the money they don't count the money, they just remove the money out of the register, put it inside of the cash office, and the cash office attendant the next morning counts all the money that's in the register. But she wouldn't know how much money is supposed to be there. That's what that's kind of like what the bank in Target headquarters does. What she does is just accounts for the money that's being sent out, and then also just verifying there's no counterfeit bills that were accepted.
Okay, so she counts each drawer separately?
Yes.
Okay, so she just counts the money, and then somewhere down the line, Target headquarters or the bank determines that there's
to say, okay, you guys sold this much on this register, you accepted, let's say, $500 in cash, so we should have $500 in bills coming in, but you only have 240 bills that came in. And then that's when like the Target headquarters looks into it, look at all the cash transactions, see each time the register was open, and that's how we got him on video going into the register, taking money out, and then put it in his pocket.
So that's how you guys caught him, was Target headquarters, just kind of doing the checks and balances. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
After hearing management's account of the theft, officers now move in to speak with the employee himself, hoping to hear his side of the story.
Hello.
Hi.
Has he been
I don't have anything on me.
You just gotta patch it down.
Space the wall for me? Yeah. Gotta make sure you got nothing on here. Good. Anything that's in a focus statement?
Nope.
Wallet?
Yeah, wallet, tobacco, cigarettes, lighter, keys, and this one.
So, before we do anything, just in case, I'm just going to read these rights. I am required to warn you before you make any statement that you have the following constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions.
Or at least just crack it.
Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer before you make any statement and during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you are entitled to the presence and representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement and during any questioning. If at any time during the interview you do not wish to answer any questions, you are privileged to remain silent. I can make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement. This must be of your own free will. Any statement can be and will be used against you in the court of law. Do you have any questions? Does that all make sense to you?
Yes.
You want to talk to us?
There's nothing really to say. I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious, like, what's going on, bro. I'm just having a hard time with money.
We've all faced hard times, but unfortunately for this man, the way he chose to handle his situation is one that's now landed him in trouble.
Man, trust me, we all been there sometimes. So, can you explain what was going on in your head at the time of those instances? That I wasn't going to get caught. That you were not going to get caught? And I knew that eventually over time, it was going to build up, and I couldn't stop myself from doing it. And I wanted to, and I'm like, no, this is wrong. Can you specifically tell me, like, what registers you used? 12, like today or in general? Oh, you did today too? Well, yeah, but that was from Gus Service, that's where that came from.
So this is from today?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was from the car. So all these instances were from Gus Services area? No, some from Gus Service and from registers. And so there's more. How many times have you done this in total? I lost count. That many times? I mean, that's the amount, 5,000. So you took $5,280. That's the number that I could come up with. I couldn't. From what from what the AP said, he said that sounds about the roughly amount that I took.
So you work today?
Yes.
Okay. What were your hours today?
10 to 4:30.
10 to 4:30. Okay. So at 4:30 when you went to clock out, like what happened?
No, I wasn't able to clock out because they pulled me in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you've just been here since?
Yeah.
Okay. So like today, do you remember like what time it was?
Like around 11:30, 12 when I took that. So when these services are happening, do you specifically work at those registers? I'm just coming up to help with lines, or they'll call for backup and I'll help them with that. And then once the lines are clear, that's when I take them.
The man usually worked in guest services, but after over a year at Target, he learned how to exploit loopholes in the system, quietly accessing registers without raising suspicion.
And then, so you're never specifically tasked by your management to work any registers? No. My main thing is carts, but I'm also cross-trained on guest service and drive up and also register. So when I say, hey, how many times would you say that you would actually be tasked to work register? Is that ever?
Or do you
There were a few times, yes, that I was tasked to do registers.
So what would be a few times?
Like 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times, and you've been working how long here?
11, almost a year.
So you've been working here almost a year, and you've been tasked 3 or 4 times to work the registers.
No. There's no. Okay, let me start over. From when I started, started off as guest service, and that was my task.
What
so
does
I would
guest
help.
services do?
Guest service is taking returns, taking out drive-up orders, and doing
But would you
exchanging.
be at the actual register on those guest services section?
Yes.
How long did you do that for?
For about, I'd say, 3 months.
Okay.
And then they switched it over to card attendant because that's what I was originally hired
So you've
for.
been working card attendant for approximately 8 months. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say so.
So out of all the 8 months, out of those 8 months that you've been working card attendant, were you ever tasked to work the registers throughout that time at all?
Yes.
Are those the front registers where people check out, or
Either
the customer
front
service?
registers or guest service.
And how many times would that be? Like maybe a few times, you said?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times. So out of the 8 months, you only worked 3 to 4 times in the cash registers, correct?
Yeah.
Over time, his actions resulted in $5,000 in stolen funds. Now he explains how the pattern started and how it got out of control.
So obviously they spoke to you about a few dates in June. So on any of those days, were you working the registers, or were you
I
doing
wasn't tasked to do it, but they were getting backed up on drive up, so I hopped on the desk to help cut out the line. And then the same with the registers. They were backed up, so I hopped on the registers to help clear the lines out.
So how would you log into the registry?
Through my device.
Through your device?
Yeah.
And
how
that
do you
device is strictly assigned to you?
Yeah.
Alright. And how do you log into that device?
With the store number, which is
Okay,
and then you would put in your ID number.
And what would be your ID number?
4.
You got that, Fender?
Can you repeat the numbers one more time?
And then my PIN would be.
Sorry, guys.
You said 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Does that match up?
Yeah. So how do you? So what? How do you log into the register using that?
I just with the little. It has a little.
Like a scan.
Yeah, and it just scans and then it logs you in.
And then it logs you in on the register.
Yeah.
You have to scan like the register barcode?
Yeah. Yeah, the register. Yeah.
Okay. So walk me through like what you were doing when you would log into the registers.
I would just take my device and scan in, and then I would just, finish the line, whichever line was there, whether that be guest service or there, and then, I'd look, make sure no one was looking, and then I'd go in the drawer and take them out.
Okay. Does the drawer open automatically when you?
No, I would push, there was a side icon where you could open the drawer, and it brought down a drop down menu, you open the drawer, and that's how the drawer would open.
As the questioning wraps up, the suspect has now come clean, admitting to everything without holding back.
You have to manually press buttons in order to open the drawer.
Yeah.
Okay. Has anybody, I guess, ever said anything to you about this before today?
No.
Okay.
No. Alright.
So, I guess I'll show them. Just make sure. Hold on. Apparently, you can't make these bigger. Oh, wait.
I'm gonna get the phone out of them.
Yeah.
How much money did you take today?
That's 140.
So, I mean, is this familiar to you?
Yeah.
Like this area?
Yeah.
Okay. What can you describe to me like what area of the store this is?
That's guest service.
Guest services. Okay. So the person on the top there,
That's me.
that's you?
Yes.
Okay. What register? What register is that? Do you know?
I don't know if they're numbered.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's you at a guest service register?
Clearly, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna die.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
All right. So did the store kind of explain to you that they were going to call us?
I kind of figured.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious. It's over $1,000, which in law terms isn't that federal. I mean, can't that lead theft, or I don't know how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. So you kind of know what's going to happen then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Is there any way I could use the bathroom before? I mean, there's a family restroom that I could use. Or I can't.
Once we get you to our booking facility, a bathroom.
Okay. All right.
Following his full confession, the suspect was officially booked on grand theft charges.
Just go and face the wall. Place your hands together like you're saying a prayer.
we should take a picture of that too.
Case number
Or a copy.
10,008.
He was later sentenced to 2 years of probation in order to complete 100 hours of community service. Number 1. Home Depot employee regrets stealing a little too late. On January 17, 2023, officers responded to a Home Depot following reports of ongoing employee theft. By the time they arrived, the suspect had already been confronted by management and was waiting to speak with police.
So we have two situations. Which one are you here for?
The money.
Yes, you're with me.
I won.
We
Car
have
that got in
another.
the parking lot.
Okay.
So she submitted and signed an affidavit saying she's taken at least $3,000.
You guys have the video footage of
Of her
it?
taking money. Yes. They
Every
have it all
every
on the phone.
single.
Yeah, they did all the transactions. We actually thought it was more about 5, but she admitted to 3. But we have it back here. I have to notify her we're terminating her, and I would like to prosecute, and I would like to walk her out in cuffs.
I don't know. We'll see what we're gonna do here. But most likely she's gonna leave in handcuffs.
We're gonna go through this door so you're not going through my whole break room.
These rights I just explained to you. Okay. So when did this start taking place? Do you remember? If you had to take an educated guess, like, was it like a month ago, a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago? Okay. And so what were we doing a few weeks ago? How much? Okay. Are you a cashier or
I work in customer service.
customer service? So you're around the cashier's area, so you do take returns and take people, you check people out, stuff like that? Okay. It's been going on for a few weeks now. How are we doing this? Like, explain to me so I can better understand how we went from working here to slightly taking some cash out at a time.
It was a thought process. I just did it.
How are we doing it though?
I opened the register.
Before the officer even arrived, the suspect had already confessed to the theft. Given the amount involved, the company made it clear that they will be pressing charges.
Were we checking someone out when we were doing it, or were you just randomly go to the register, open it up, take out? Were you taking out like $20 at a time, or $100 you were taking $100 at a time, every single time? Okay, so every single time you did it, you were taking money, $100 out every single time. Okay. And how much would you say you took from the tills? Over 2,000. Have you ever? What'd you do with the cash after you took every time you took the 100 out? What were you using it on?
I was gonna use it for my grandmother.
What were you gonna buy her?
I wasn't gonna buy her. She's just separate now. It wasn't a thought process. I just did it.
I gotcha. So you're taking the money for your grandma so you can spend it on her.
Does your grandma take care of you? And you thought it'd be nice to kind of treat her?
It wasn't a treat, she's just sick.
She's sick? So you're helping pay for medical bills or something, or? Yeah? Okay. Is there anything else that you can remember about when you took the $100 at a time? Or were you taking them, let's focus on the money now. Were you taking like 20s, or were you taking a $100 bill? So it was a $100 bill every time. Okay. And you said it's up to $2,000. You took over $2,000?
She's clearly overwhelmed, but the damage is done, and no amount of tears will undo it.
I know this is hard for you, Destiny, but I need a verbal, okay, or a head shake or something. Okay. Is there anything that you want to add to what you told me? No? And was it, let me ask you this, when you were taking the money from the tills, was it only at the cashier's area? Did you go to any other tills and take them, or?
It was just where the department I work in.
So just at customer service then?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I add something? Can I ask her a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when we just talked a few minutes ago, right, we talked about you taking the cash from the registers. It was more than $100 each time, right? So last night you talked about yesterday what you took from the registers, right? Was over $1,000, right? Okay, he needs to know that.
Oh, I added
I know, you didn't understand when he said hundreds.
Oh, so you were taking, so.
Yes, sorry.
So let me break it down for you. So let's say this is my till, right? Up at customer service. I open it up and I'm just taking $100 out and
No,
putting.
I took more than just
You took more? Did you? Now it was happening every time you did it?
Yes.
So you took all the hundreds out of the tills, are you telling me? And that would add up to whatever amount that you took out of there. Do you remember what the first time you did it, do you remember what the total amount was that you took out?
No.
Do you remember at any time how much you took out every time you went to the till?
There usually is hundreds in there, so like 2 to 4.
2 to 4. So we're talking a couple $100 every time we took money out from the cashiers. Okay.
With a written statement in hand, the officer has more than enough to make an arrest. But first, he gives the suspect a chance to explain why she did it.
So in our discussion, we talked about the dollar amount, right? And she wrote a written statement of $3,000, right? Okay, that's important to tell him, okay?
Do we have any of this money? Did it go into your bank account, anything like that? You just kept all the cash? Do you still have any of that cash left? Anything that you've taken from Home Depot? You spent all of it?
I would give it back if I had it.
I gotcha. And to be more descriptive, what were we spending it on for Grandma?
I was just paying some of her stuff off.
I'm sorry, what?
Just paying some of her things off.
What kind of things were you paying off?
I don't know what bills specifically. I live with her and my uncle doesn't do anything for her. So.
Okay.
And some of it were for her bills, and then we've been waiting. My grandfather passed away a year ago, so I've also wanted to help with the headstone for that too.
Okay. So we're helping pay for the headstones and
Just
medical bills
the
for
bills and
Grandma.
the bills and headstone.
Okay.
But mostly the bills.
So this has been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
She's been taking copious amounts of money. So we have statements for you, we have video for you, we have, just a packet for you that CIT puts together. So once we get 2 or 3 hits on this, we send it to the Central Investigation Team. They go in, they pull all the video, they pull everything that they need, and they send me a packet. And then we go in and we
Investigate it a little bit
Yeah.
more.
So she is young, because she was 19, so she's not a minor. Do you do the diversion program?
For stuff like this, no.
Okay.
This is a felony amount.
Management acknowledges that the suspect is young, but given the severity of what she attempted, they believe she shouldn't walk away without consequence.
That's what I thought. I just
She's
wanted
gonna
to.
probably leave in handcuffs.
Well,
today.
that's what she should leave in.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's what happens
But-
when you steal cash from your
Yeah.
business. You know,
And her not being truthful. She was truthful with us and then not truthful with you. That's why.
and I'll read all the statements. You can put your hand down. All right, so go ahead and from the best, without looking through the folder and everything like that, because I'll look through that and we'll go through that together in a little bit. But from the best of your knowledge, just tell me from the start dates and till what led up today.
Okay, so about, I'd say a week and a half ago, I received an email from the Central Investigation Team in regard to Destiny. We had cash shortages. Every other day we had cash shortages. So once they did their investigation, they determined that Destiny could clearly be seen on camera, popping open the register with a cash strip boy and removing cash, placing it in her right pocket. At that point, they put the packet together. We made an appointment to come and see her today. We sat down with her, discussed exactly what happened. She admitted to taking $3,000 worth of money from the registers, stated it was for her grandmother. She's written a statement. I have a statement, and so does the other witness, and that's what happened.
Okay. And you've never witnessed her or anything like that, her taking actual money?
No, not live, just on video.
Just on the video? Okay. And to your knowledge, she's been taking large sums of cash
Yes. So
at
yesterday,
every time?
yes, sir. Yesterday we had a $1,200 shortage, and when I spoke to her about that today, she said yes, she did indeed.
After speaking with one manager, the officer moves on to another supervisor to hear their account and how the theft was discovered.
Information that you can provide from the beginning to the end up to today. Just go ahead with it.
Absolutely. So I proceeded to start looking at video to start seeing what was going on, and then I was able to observe today yesterday's transactions. So yesterday's transactions basically was the individual in question was at the register. She would start pacing back and forth, look around, look left, look right, then proceed to start accessing the register without having a customer present. That's automatically a red flag because there's no reason to touch the register if there's no one in front of you.
Correct.
She proceeded to then, with no explanation, open the register, reach in, grab several high dollar bills, place them in her palm and put it into the pocket of her apron or her front right pocket. This happened twice yesterday. Now, part of that journal that register gives you an unexplained total dollar amount of how much money is missing from the registers. She impacted two different registers in her yesterday shift. One of them was $533, I believe, and the second one was $1,200 and change.
So roughly, yesterday she took about $1,800.
If I had to guess, I would say approximation, yes. North of 1,500, less than 2,000.
After obtaining the full picture from management, the officer turns once again to the suspect to continue the questioning.
So I'm just going to ask you a couple more questions, and then I'm going to make a phone call, okay? I'm going to look at some footage, and then we're going to proceed from there, okay? So, you are on multiple occasions, okay? It seems like at least 5 different days, okay? You were seen on camera taking multiple, plethora of money from the tills, okay? And I need to get an exact dollar amount. And someone who takes cash, they go home and count it, okay? I know you went home and counted it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Because you just didn't take the money and then go, oh, I'm just going to spend this. So I need you, to the best of your knowledge, to just give me the best estimated number of how much money that you took. Are we talking like $3,000? How much? 3? Because from what I'm seeing, we're talking more than that. I mean, alone yesterday, you took about $1,800. Okay, I think you know that. You went home and counted it probably last night. Right? Okay. So every other night, how much, and I know it's been months, but if you had to take the best guess possible, I mean, because one shift, you took $1,800. Okay? So how much money are we talking about here?
That was just the one shift. That was the first time there's ever been $1,000 in the.
That was the first time you ever took over 1,000?
Yes, that's the, because there's never been that much in the till before.
The officer knows the amount she admitted to isn't accurate, so he gives her another chance to come clean and state what she believed she actually took.
But if, again, give me a ballpark number other than 3,000.
Over 4.
Over 4? Are we maybe more towards 5, possibly?
Probably.
Probably. Okay. Is it over 5? Are you sure? You're 100% sure you did not take over $5,000?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I'm not trying to push it,
No,
but
I know.
But you know that I know the amount. Okay. I know that kind of sounded a little bit confusing, but I know you know the amount of money that you
I
took.
don't know
It might not be
exactly.
to the exact dollar, but so we're talking about 5. You took over up to $5,000. Is that correct? Okay. Do you want to say anything to them about what you did? About
Can I have her amend her statement?
We
That's her
talked.
written statement.
It was 3, but I really didn't count it to $2.
You want to amend your statement and add 5 in there instead?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. I know you're not going to know the exact dates, but do you remember like what day of the week it was when you did it at least or anything like that?
No.
No, just whenever you were working?
Not every shift.
Not every shift,
No.
but just when you thought the coast was clear and you were able to get into the till without anyone seeing?
The questioning is over, and with everything documented, the officer proceeds to take the suspect into custody.
So, if you haven't figured it out already, you are going to be placed under arrest. Okay? So, we are going to head down to the jail. You will be able to bond out. Okay? So, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to walk out to my car with me. Okay? I won't cuff you in front of everybody, out of respect. Okay, I'll save you the humiliation. Okay? Because you're being pretty honest with me from the beginning, and I take that with a great amount of respect. Okay? So you respect me, I respect you. Now we try to run or get funny or do anything. I have this cool Batman utility belt where I can use a lot of things that I don't want to use. Okay?
So it's fine.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you were gonna walk in front of me. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, you have nothing else in your pockets, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I have
What's up? Leave that in your pocket. I'm talking like knives or anything like that. Nothing in your bra, anything like that? I have to ask. Alright, easiest way in is to sit down butt first and then pull your feet in, okay?
Well, I'm big, so.
Yeah. I understand. I'm a big guy too.
The 19-year-old suspect was ultimately charged with grand theft. Do you think these people learned their lesson? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.